Well, hello everybody and welcome to Go F.O.C. Yourself. My name is Brandon. I'm the co-owner of Variant Edition graphic novels and comics here in the palatial Edmonton, Alberta. I co-own it with my partner Danica LeBlanc. I'm here today, as I am every week, to go over some final order cutoffs with all of you fine people. I hope everything's going well. I am doing this later as we have all of July, and we'll be doing it again later this next week, 8:10 p.m. Due to circumstance. And after that, we'll go back to the afternoon, a better time for a lot of folks, and go over some stuff then. But we got a lot to get to. There's always a lot to get to for final order cutoffs because there's a lot of stuff. I was talking with a dude earlier today who wrapped up his time in comics retail right as Spawn #1 came out. It was like, he said it was like the week after Spawn #1 came out as he wrapped up doing comics retail, and I talked to him quite a bit about his philosophy on how to order stuff and all that kind of stuff and how it worked back then. And of course, I know that there wasn't any final order cutoffs because I have been in retail since that started. Which, game changer, truly. Being able to actually order things properly or more properly than before. Absolutely outstanding. And I'm very happy that it's continued and that we can do that. Multiple distributors who are servicing the single issue comics industry. With that said, let's get to the goods here. It's screen share time, baby. Let's share that screen. Oh, also, since this is a different crowd who watches this, I got to see my nieces this week, and I had them do a little bit of work for the store. And we got an intro for our videos. We've got a couple intros.
If you can hear me, it's in Variant Edition.
It's in Variant Edition. I love that so much. I want a shirt. In Variant Edition. Perfect. And then this is them together.
Welcome in Variant Edition.
A 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. Very cute. I love them. I'm very happy to be able to be uncling again now that I've got a couple vaccines coursing through my veins. I'm going to get to see them next weekend. So, yeah. Now that I'm thinking about this, I'll have to think of the timing of the F.O.C. video next week. Because I got to go down to Central Alberta. All right. Y'all heard enough. Let's get to this. All right. Get some Image Comics going. Come on, Image Comics. You're better than this. So there is the return of Ice Cream Man, issue 25. A lot of folks very excited about this series, and it's the momentum has been gaining on this. So we've got 5 covers, including a Shimizu cover. Very cool, because she did our bastard title edition Dracula Motherfucker. Oh, you're right. I cussed. Cussed without pressing the button. You guys will be okay, right? I hope so. But yeah, like a lot of gorgeous covers for Ice Cream Man. Absolutely fabulous series. If you're looking for some anthology horror stuff, you can grab the trade paperbacks that are out so far, or you can start here because you don't really need to know much. Do not try and eat my mashed potatoes. Just because I got home late doesn't mean you can eat my mashed potatoes. There's a cat. There's also King Spawn #1. It's a new ongoing series, part of the new Spawn universe, featuring Sean Lewis on some writing and Todd McFarlane with Javier Fernandez, Brett Booth, Philip Tan, Stephen Segoya, Todd McFarlane, and Marcio Takara doing some art because it's oversized. A historical new ongoing Spawn series begins. The launch of this book, nearly 3 decades in the making, further expands the Spawn universe with a growing presence of hell, heaven, and heroes here on Earth. A classic villain from Spawn's past has begun asserting his power on Earth by corrupting as many souls as possible, and only Spawn knows that he even exists. Continuing the dramatic battles from Spawn's Universe #1, it all begins here. Do not miss out. The last time a new Spawn ongoing launched, it was 1992. I don't think that's true. There's been some spin-offs. There's been Medieval Spawn, Hell Spawn, a bunch of stuff. Maybe he's talking about Spawn particularly. But we've got some previews pages for you to get inside your face. Alrighty. There's a whole bunch of covers here. You can take your pick of all kinds of really cool images, including one drawn by Donny Cates. Get away from my food, sir. Off-camera goblin. It's my food. And inked by Todd McFarlane. There's also the second printing of Sweet Paprika #1 to coincide with issue 2's. The first cover A has not reached a lot of stores yet, so that's going to be happening soon. There are these other covers, including a Stepan Sejic. We like him here at Variant Editions. Saint Mercy from the Top Count imprint. A new miniseries, A Tale of Vengeful Retribution. Saint Mercy pits the Icon Empire against the American West and features 2 strong, determined young women who must defy authority and ultimately embrace their destiny. Mercedes Oro is one of the surviving descendants of the Incans who has been charged with protecting a cache of cursed gold used in their child sacrifice rituals. But when an outlaw tries to steal the gold for his band of thieves, he unknowingly sets events in motion that will unleash an angry god who is willing to travel through the centuries to have what he deserves. From the writer of Jurassic World Evolution, The Chronicles of Riddick, and Wanted Weapons of Fate comes a revenge tale that spans millennia. And they have some preview pages here too. Just an embarrassment of riches right now. All right, Dark Horse, what you got for us? Is it anything? Nothing new in particular. We've got Falcon Spear, which is another original graphic novel in Mike Mignola's Hellboy universe. Jump into an eerie Victorian-style mystery with an off-kilter, charming twist in the next Knockout collaboration from Mike Mignola and Warwick Johnson Cadwell. Monster Hunter Extraordinaire, Professor Meinhardt, Dr. Knox, and Ms. Van Sloan have teamed up to slay spooks and investigate the uncanny before, but now they'll have to tackle a question that's haunted them for years. What happened to their friend and vampire slayer extraordinaire, James Falcon Spear? Rendered in Johnson Caldwell's signature loose, expressive style and with a gorgeous cover from Nola and colorist Dave Stewart, this hardcover will be a treat for fans of Mr. Higgins Comes Home and our encounters with evil, as well as folks new to the world Johnson, Cadwell, and Mignola have created. So maybe this isn't specific Hellboy stuff. But I guess Mignola stuff always feels that way. I do enjoy these stories. I love Warwick Johnson Cadwell's work. As they say, very expressive, very loose, and very interesting. And also, She Could Fly Volume 3. There were 2 series that came out in single issues before this. This has only come out in the form of an original graphic novel, which is very exciting. It is from Christopher Cantwell, not the one that you've probably seen in the news, but the one that created *Halt and Catch Fire*, who's been doing a lot of phenomenal comics work. So for folks who have been enjoying this series, this is where it concludes the trilogy, and not in single issues. I've got the Godzilla World of Monsters from IDW, from a whole host of different writers, because it's collecting a whole bunch of different stories. The King of Monsters reigns supreme no matter what the timeline or world. In this compendium, collecting 3 graphic novels: Gangsters and Goliath by John Layman and Alberto Ponticelli, Cataclysm by Cullen Bunn and Dave Wachter, and Oblivion by Joshua Fialkov and Brian Chirilla. First, in Gangsters and Goliath, monster recognizes monster, which quickly becomes obvious when Godzilla collides head-on with the Yakuza-dominated Tokyo underworld. And in Cataclysm, does any hope remain for humanity in an apocalyptic future devastated by never-ending kaiju attacks? And when a reckless scientist opens a portal to an alternate dimension ruled by Godzilla and his brethren, a single baby kaiju stowaway could spell disaster for our monster-free world in Oblivion. I like the bigger collections that have been happening at IDW. It's really cool. Transformers Shattered Glass from Danny Lore and Guido Gudi. Shattered Glass isn't your average Transformers tale. Shards is a story of the ongoing battle between the power-hungry Autobot autocrats and the freedom-fighting Decepticon laborers. Join author Danny Lore in exploring this fractured alternate universe before it shatters. In issue 1, many kilocycles after Cybertronian war has destroyed Earth, Blur, an evil Autobot seeker, haunts his newest bounty, who holds a piece of information that could reignite the war. Avengers Annual number 1. We've been talking about this for the past few weeks. This is another one of the Infinite Destinies stories. This one by Jed McKay. So it is not part of the regular Avengers story. So for ourselves personally, a variant edition, we will not be cross-referencing it for Avengers people, but for folks who have been getting this ongoing series, and it is the last part of the Infinite Destinies story arc. Wrapping that up. Cable Reloaded number 1 spins out from what's been happening with Cable and gets into a bit of the Last Annihilation stuff that Al Ewing's been doing. It's a new era in a new galaxy that's under siege from a deadly new threat. But can you still rely on one man? But you can still rely on one man. Cable is locked, loaded, and landing on the deadliest planet in X history to steal the ultimate weapon and stop the last annihilation. Preview pages. I love the preview pages. Darkhawk number 1. From Cal Higgins and Juanan Ramirez, who is the all-new Darkhawk. Connor Young is a 17-year-old basketball player with a world ahead of him until a surprising medical diagnosis changes everything. But what happens when a mysterious amulet finds him and gives him powers beyond belief? What will he do with these new abilities? Get in on the ground floor as Cal Higgins and Juanan Ramirez start a brand new era. Extreme Carnage Riot number 1. This is continuing the Extreme Carnage series. So there are other stories happening here. For those of you who are getting Extreme Carnage, you do just need the first and last one. to really get the story. But this is a lot of the stuff that's happening in the interim with the different symbiotes. Carnage may be building an army, but apologies. But his ultimate goal remains shrouded in mystery. What is his endgame? And how many will he massacre to achieve it? Max, off the soundboard, please. This is the boy that I've been trying to shoo away from my chicken and potatoes. Will he hang out? Or will he be a butt? Little of both. Little column A, little column B. One bud. Marvel's Voices Identity #1, featuring a host of different creators of Asian descent. Some of the best Asian superheroes in comics are getting the spotlight in this special action-packed and heartful issue. Shang-Chi, Ms. Marvel Jubilee, Silk, Jimmy Woo. Come celebrate these amazing legendary heroes from new and established Asian creators that will surely expand the world outside your window. Plus, be prepared for some big special surprises that can only be told in the mighty Marvel manner. Do we have some preview pages? It looks like it. Oh, yeah, we do. Very cool. There's also the Spider-Man Life Story Annual #1, tackling the tale of Spider-Man from J. Jonah Jameson's point of view. As it says, a special encore return to the world of Spider-Man Life Story by the original creative team. Spider-Man, he's a threat, he's a menace, and J. Jonah Jameson will do whatever it takes to make the world see it. But in this companion piece to the last year's hit miniseries, Spider-Man Life Story, will the decades of his obsession bear fruit for Jonah or be his destruction? Chip Zdarsky and Mark Bagley reunite for the story told in a world where Marvel's beloved characters aged in real time. Oh, we're doing a good show, aren't we, buddy? I know. I'm not even close to being done, so I can't pay attention to you properly. All right, come on. Boop, boop. I love you. Good boy. And finally, on this list here, for Marvel, Winter Guard #1. Winter comes for the White Widow and the Red Guardian. Russia is cleaning house, and when the Red Guardian starts hunting down state secrets, he puts himself right back in his home country's crosshairs, dragging the White Widow along with him. But the motherland has new heroes now, and not even the Red Room could have prepared Alexei and Yelena for the Winter Guard's retribution. Bold twists and bombastic action abound as Jason Aaron's Winter Guard tracks down two of Russia's dirtiest secrets. Don't miss the chills and thrills of Ryan Cady and Juan Bazaluda's epic new thriller. As always, Dynamite. Doing that Dynamite thing. All damn covers. That's 3 issues and 20 plus covers. Dark Blood #1 is getting a third printing here for folks to catch up. And Once and Future returns after a bit of a hiatus for folks waiting for that one. Elsewhere, we have 20 Fists. It's a lot of fists, my friend. This is a comic about fist fights and bad romance. The no-names are new to the 20 Fist Fight League. As they begin to make a name for themselves, the worst possible thing happens. Their leader, Chow, falls for Billy, the leader of their rival crew, the Big Jackets. Now, with their crews about to meet for another battle, Chow and Billy need to decide to make love or war. It's a good price for a graphic novel. It could be good. I do like roller derby tales. There's the best of Archie Comics, 80 years and 80 stories, sampling from all around. Claim number 1, Song of Iron Vice. Kind of funny. King Dead is dead. Hairless and airless. Now the kingdom of Unstabiliakas. Maybe? I did that wrong. There's only hope. His 2 incompetent mercenary heroes, Rob is a delusional goblin, and Dop, his silent doppelganger sidekick, hope this war means steady work with a side of fortune and fame, hopefully without getting them killed. Journey with these 2 dum-dums as they scheme among the 5 factions that have sprung up to claim the throne. This adventure has it all. Shining Knight zombie bites and big dwarf fights, not to mention murder by pie, incredibly unpopular goblin cults, and of course, true romance. Watch what happens to our lovable Lucky and then yet not so smart mercenaries as they make their way through a game of musical thrones and see if they'll live happily ever or, just if they survive. So a little bit of a play off of some big fantasy tropes. Ooh, got some comments. Hey, Sean. The Winter Guard needs a character named Borscht. Laying down the beats. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff I like. Good puns. And yeah, the new Winter Guard stuff should be pretty cool because I haven't really keyed into a lot of Winter Guard stuff before. But some of the stuff that I read from Jason Aaron's Avengers stuff that had them in there, and this with Ryan Cady. Ryan Cady is really good at his stuff. Very excited about that. Choose Your Own Adventure coming out with their first graphic novel. Choose Your Own Adventure as Rabbit, the new kid on the block, enters a ghoulish world of nightmares, witches, and ghosts. As Rabbit, readers will get to choose their own adventure or nightmare they'll embark on. From learning about the mysterious witch Prudence Deadly to trouncing through spooky graveyards to meeting ghostly ancestors or channeling some witchcraft with classmates, no one path leads to the same destination. Will you choose a path that leads to the light, or will the path you choose lead to a gruesome end? You get to decide. I always love me some Choose Your Own Adventures, so I'm very excited for that to get into everybody's hands. SourcePoint has a whole bunch of graphic novels coming out in this round. That's really cool. There's also Happy Hour from Ahoy, which is basically about a world where everybody needs to be happy or else. It's a very interesting story. And we're going to be ordering it from Simon & Schuster because Ahoy has a deal with Simon & Schuster. Very excited about that. SourcePoint also has Suicide Jockeys #1. Click. Make go. Make go, machine. 10 years after a catastrophic mission gone wrong, Denver Wallace, leader of the Suicide Jockeys, a poor, usually drunken, and almost certainly mentally ill crew of monster fighting, tank, and aircraft piloting suckers, must pick himself up off the proverbial and literal floor, slap his estranged, desperately fractured team back together, and right what once went wrong. From screenwriter and Ringo award-winning comic creator Ryland Grant. Do. And versus fighting from Ablaze. From Japan to the US, the esport phenomenon continues to grow. The first manga dedicated to the world of esports competition. Max Volta, leader of the team of professional players, launches an assault on the Capcom Pro Tour, one of the major international competitions for Street Fighter V. Everything does not happen as expected for the arrogant and overconfident Max. Even after being named top pick to win the tournament, he suffers a crushing defeat. Max takes it out on his friends, which leads to his sponsors pulling out. He is afraid his career is over, but then the mysterious Inez offers to return to the basics of versus fighting and put together a team capable of beating the Japanese god of fighting games, which will cause a storm in the world of professional gaming. Whether you're a beginner or a combat game specialist, you'll enjoy taking a dive into the heart of the competition in this humorous adventure and its galley of colorful characters, officially endorsed by Capcom and the fighting game community, featuring genuine Street Fighter characters and produced in the vein of the best sports shonen. Discover the esports spirit as you have never seen it before. Very interesting. And Gamma Draconis hardcover ebook, perfect for fans of manga and crime fiction. Akio Moriyama studied religious arts at the Sorbonne, but her research in occultism quickly leads her down a dangerous path to solve the enigma of Gamma Draconis. Eldo Yoshimizu, the creator of epic Yakuza manga Ryuko, teams up with Benoist Samet to create a dazzling crime tale. I do love some preview pages, baby. All right, show me Lunar. I swear that was up, and I don't know why it closed out, but who knows? All right, so the stuff that you're seeing here, Lunar, these are the Lunar orders that will be due this Sunday. Then we'll go over the stuff that will be due on Thursday for folks who are ordering through Universal, like myself. So this week we've got Action Comics 1034, continuing the current story by Philip Kennedy Johnson. There's also the Aquaman 80th anniversary special featuring some big creators tackling the Aquaman. Batman No Man's Land Omnibus is due for final orders. If y'all are wanting the big collection of that one there. I've got a Max headbutt in my knees. Trying to take me out at the knees while I'm sitting down. Foolish, foolish boy. If I'm sitting, I can't fall. Oh, he's coming after me. Meow. Got Little Guardians #1 from the Scoot. Combining humor with big adventure, Little Guardians is a fun filled all ages romp for the entire family. Little Guardians tells the story of two young people, a boy and a girl, switched at birth unknowingly, living each other's lives. The girl, who is destined to protect the village from demons and monsters, lives a simple life working at the local item shop. When the village faces a crisis, will she discover her true identity before it is too late for everyone? Now part of the Scoot lineup and at the low entry price of $2 American, you can enjoy some extra material with these reprinted pages from this non-stop title, followed by the entire story collected soon after in one volume. And there's also a mullet cop. After a near-death experience, a mall cop goes undercover as a manager at an all-you-can-eat buffet. With the help of his co-workers and a supercomputer microwave called MIT, Mall Industries 2000, he takes on the crime boss, Robo Granny, and her gang of thugs. Over 60 pages of art for just $7 or Americans. Superman 78. Fly into director Richard Donner's Superman once more with Superman 78, written by Robert Venditti and drawn by Wilfredo Torres. Superman 78 tells a brand new adventure in the world of the beloved film. A bright, shining day in Metropolis is interrupted by a mysterious drone that crash lands in the city and starts wreaking havoc. This looks like a job for Superman, but where did the metallic menace come from? And what is its purpose? And who is Brainiac? Who, I ask you? Who? Tart has another one shot. Tart Acid is used to working alone. However, when she finds herself sneaking past Nazi guards at the 1936 Berlin Olympics or facing off against firstborn son of the King of Hell, she realizes how important it is to have her team around her. Always have a team when confronting Nazis. Nazis are the worst. All right, and these are the books that are due from Universal by Thursday. We've got The Amethyst, Princess of Gemworld, and Batman and Robin and Howard. Some all ages books here. Amia, Princess of the House of Amethyst in Gemworld, and her brother love magical pranks, but when one goes too far, her parents ground the young royal to earth. They hope a week in the mundane world teaches her that magic is a privilege, and maybe washing dishes by hand will help her realize that the palace servants should be respected. 3 years later, Amy has settled into middle school and an ordinary life. She doesn't remember any other home. So when a prince of the realm brings her back to Gemworld and restores her magical destiny, how will she cope? And then Batman and Robin and Howard by Jeffrey Brown. To Damian Wayne, there is nothing more important than protecting the streets of Gotham City as Robin. But when he makes a critical mistake while out on patrol, Damian finds himself benched. And what's more, Damian's dad, Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, decides that starting over in a new school will be just the distraction that Damian needs from his superhero routine. Certain that Gotham Metro Academy has nothing to teach him, Damian is completely unprepared for the challenge he finds in Howard, the smartest and most athletic kid in school. The boys' rivalry is instantaneous and fierce, and both are sure only one of them can be best in class. There's Batman and Catwoman number 7. This is important to note because Clayman is not doing the art on this issue. It's Liam Sharp who is pitching in for issues 7, 8, and 9. So be aware of that. We also have Fear State Alpha number 1. Anybody getting Batman will want to get this book because James Tynion IV is going to be at the helm. The event, over a year in the making, begins. Fear State settles upon Gotham City and no one is safe. Overwhelmed by the dual threat of the Scarecrow and Peacekeeper 1, Batman and his allies have been one step behind since the events of Infinite Frontier number 0. And with the arrival of a mysterious anti-Oracle and the return of Poison Ivy, Batman might have more than he can handle. There's some stuff that is more important for stores to order. There's going to be a Batman Day, and there's going to be some special issues for it, which is cool. There's also Batman. Oh yeah, that's another one of those. One's their corset. Master Gregory d'Alben, maybe I said that right, is a world-famous fashion designer and inventor. His groundbreaking corsets fascinate and inspire millions of people around the world. And it's been years since he showed his face in public, living in seclusion in his mysterious clock tower high above the Gothic city. One night, a young and naive girl named Elsie ruins the master's grand fashion show. D'Alben invites her to his tower where he plans to reveal his dark secrets to her. But first, she must give him something in return. Creepy. There's also Impossible Jones. Number 1. Explosive first issue. The grim and gritty origin of comics' newest sensation. A thief gets powers, is mistaken for a superhero, and runs with it. With no intention of giving up her criminal ways, mind you. With these powers, are you crazy? All she has to do is fool all the people all the time. It's not impossible, it's Impossible Jones. Full Throttle Thrills by Carl Kessel and David Hahn. I love doing that. It makes me happy. And yeah, looks like pretty much all we're talking about this week for those ones. Gonna call it a day there. We can absolutely get that Choose Your Own Adventure for Ben. Only Press does an incredible job with all of their stuff, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be really, really cool. And Impossible Jones does look very Already. The second cover was done by Elsa Chetier, and so it's got a bit of a Darwin Cook feel to it. But in general, it has sort of, like that Jinkies vibe that Mike Allred brings to things. Very excited about that one. And David Hahn, he pops into comics every now and then and does some absolutely stunning work. All right, folks, I'm going to finish these chicken and potatoes. Max has been staring, waiting. So I'll see if I can't share a little bit with him. We'll see. All right, thank you all, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye.